Good morning, everybody. Myself, Dr. Meenakshi Mayangar, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, Government College, Kota. The topic that we will discuss today is metamerism, that is, true segmentation. Meaning of metamerism: when the segmentation in bilateral animals such as annelids involves a longitudinal division of the body into a linear series of similar sections or parts, it is termed metameric segmentation or metamerism. Each section or part is called a segment, somite, or metamere. Each metamere typically repeats some or all of the various organ units. The term metamerism is applied only when organs of mesodermal origin are so arranged. The primary segmental divisions are the body wall musculature and sometimes the coelom. This in turn imposed a corresponding metamerism on the associated supply system, the nerves, blood vessels, and excretory organs. Longitudinal structures such as gut, principal blood vessels, and nerves extend the entire length of the body, passing through successive segments, while other structures such as gonads are repeated in each or few segments only. Metamerism is always limited to the trunk region of the body. The head, represented by the prostomium and bearing the brain and sense organs, and the pygidium, represented by the terminal part of the body which carries the anus, are not metameres. New segments arise just in front of the pygidium. Thus, the oldest segments lie just behind the head. Metameric animals. Metameric segmentation of the body, encountered for the first time in Annelida, is of considerable interest because the most successful groups of animal kingdom, that is Arthropoda and Vertebrata, also have their parts metamerically repeated. At least one group of mollusca, that is Monoplacophora, also exhibit metamerism. Metameric segmentation seems to have evolved three times independently in animal kingdom. First in the annelids arthropods, second in the chordates, and third in the cestodes. External and internal metamerism. Metamerism is conspicuously visible in most annelids, both externally as well as internally. The common earthworm is a good illustration of both external and internal metamerism. Its body consists of a great number of similar segments, and all the body organs such as musculature, seat of locomotion, blood vessels, nerves, ganglia, excretory organs, and gonads are repeated segmentally. Even the coelom is divided into segmental compartments by the intersegmental transverse mesenteries called the septa. Only the digestive tract remains unaffected, but it also extends through each segment. In arthropods, metamerism is chiefly external, while man and other vertebrates show an internal metamerism of body muscles, nerves, certain blood vessels, vertebrae, and ribs. Complete and incomplete metamerism. In annelid worms, metamerism is complete, affecting practically all the systems. The metameres are essentially like or homonomous, each having segmented blood vessels, nerves, nephridia, and coelomoducts. This condition is called homonomous metamerism. On the other hand, higher animals such as arthropods and vertebrates show incomplete metamerism because of division of labor. The segments or metameres of different regions of their body become greatly dissimilar. This is called heteronomous metamerism. However, incomplete metamerism should not be confused with the repetition of single organs such as shell plates or gills in certain unsegmented animals like mollusks. In arthropods and vertebrates, metamerism is more complete and metameres are uniform and clear in the larval and embryonic stages. But metamerism becomes obscure in the adult due to subsequent specialization or modification, so that the segments are no longer similar. It may result from simplification by loss of metameres, by fusion of segments, by differentiation between segments, by disappearance of organs, or by development of other structures, such as limbs. Heteronomous condition always appears first at the anterior end and progresses posteriorly. In segmented animals, varying degrees of specialization are met with, some of which are extreme. Origin and evolution of metamerism. How metamerism has been brought about is still doubtful. No satisfactory reason can be given for the origin of metamerism. Various hypotheses have been proposed to explain the origin of metamerism, but none is acceptable in the absence of convincing evidence. The main theories concerning the origin of metamerism emphasize primarily either repetition of organs or mesodermal segmentation and correlate it with the origin of coelom. The pseudo-metamerism theory. This theory stresses that metamerism developed secondarily as a result of repetition of body parts such as muscles, nerves, nephridia, coelom, blood vessels, etc. in a single individual. Such serial repetition of organs such as testes, yolk glands, and transverse connectives of two nerve cords is seen in some elongated turbellarians and nemerteans. Later, a segmented condition was obtained by the formation of cross partitions in between them, so that each segment received a repeated part of each system. This process is witnessed even today in the formation of somites in larval and adult stages of some annelida, in which cross partitions develop after the basic segmentation is already laid down. Such segmentation was probably an adaptation for an undulatory mode of swimming. However, all ribbon-like animals swim in this way, whether segmented or not. Cyclomerism theory. This theory was proposed by Sedgwick and supported by Remain. The cyclomerism theory is a corollary of the Enterocoelous theory for the origin of mesoderm and coelom. This theory assumes that coelom originated in some ancestral radiate actinozoan coelenterate through the separation of four gastric or enterocoelic pouches from the central digestive cavity or gut. Division of two pouches resulted into three pairs of coelomic cavities, the protocoel, mesocoel, and metacoel. In the protocoelomate or ancestral coelomate, loss of protocoel and mesocoel led to the unsegmented coelomates such as mollusks and siphunculids. Later subdivision of metacoel produced primary segments leading to the segmented annelids. This phylogenetic implication of this theory is that all bilateral metazoans were originally segmented and coelomate, and that the acoelomate unsegmented groups, that is flatworms, nemerteans, have lost these characters secondarily. The Corm or fission theory. According to this theory, metameric segmentation resulted when some non-segmented ancestor divided by transverse fission repeatedly or by asexual budding producing a chain of sub-individuals or zooids united end-to-end due to their incomplete separation. This occurs in some platyhelminthes and annelida even today. With the passage of time, these sub-individuals or segments gradually became integrated morphologically as well as physiologically into one complex individuality. A segmented animal, according to this view, is a chain of completely coordinate sub-individuals. This theory was supported largely during the 19th century and greatly elaborated by Perrier. The chief objection to this theory is the lack of gradations of age in such a chain of zooids, which is true of segments in a metameric animal such as an annelid. In platyhelminthes and Scyphozoans strobile, the sequence of zooid formation is never serial. Fission occurs always somewhere in the middle of the chain. In cestodes, the proglottids are serially arranged but in a reversed order. Another objection is that reproduction by fission is usually confined to sessile animals, whereas the ancestors were probably free swimming. Fission is a more extensive and disruptive division of body than in metamerism. The embryological theory. It explains original metameric segmentation mainly as an embryological accident. It suggests that mechanical stresses in the mesoderm of the elongating embryo or larva resulted in its fragmentation, leading to segmental repetition of mesodermal derivatives in the adult. Locomotory theory. It is an amalgamation of pseudo-metamerism and embryological theories. It postulates that metamerism evolved as an adaptation to locomotion of different kinds. Annelid metamerism probably evolved as an adaptation for burrowing, and chordate metamerism as an adaptation for undulatory serpentine swimming movements. Coelom evolved initially as a hydraulic skeleton to facilitate locomotion in response to the increasing body size. Metamerism also evolved as an adaptation to burrowing in annelids. The ancestors of Annelida were in all probability elongate coelomate animals which burrowed in marine sand and mud. The evolution of compartmented coelom due to development of septa and metameric segmentation localized the function of the hydraulic skeleton. This allowed only part of the body to contract while other parts in the longitudinal axis relaxed. The locomotory movement can be more continuous and better controlled if the action of the body wall muscles is localized, that is, restricted to sections of the body. Metamerism permits such localization and accounts for the evolution of this condition in annelids. The localization enabled a strong peristaltic wave to propagate down the body, an efficient type of locomotion for worm-like burrowers. Annelid metamerism is basically a modification of the coelom and the body wall muscles. This initial segmentation of the coelom and body wall muscles led to subsequent segmentation organization for the nervous, circulatory and excretory systems. In chordates, metamerism evolved as an adaptation for swimming movements. The notochord evolved in the early chordates to provide support for the body followed by metameric segmentation of body wall musculature, so that alternate waves of contraction sweeping down the body could enable strong swimming. The initial muscle segmentation caused segmentation of the body of the nervous and circulatory system. In cestodes, metamerism evolved as a response to reproduction. A reproductive package was formed which, once it had performed its functions, was expendable. Proglottids are not additional to the body but are the body and so have to carry a complete series of organs. Conclusion: metameric segmentation met in one phylum is not similar to that in another. It arose independently in more than one line of evolution, each time in adaptation to a major advantage for the group in question. It probably evolved in response to burrowing in annelids, to swimming in chordates, and to reproduction in cestodes. Therefore, we cannot devise one explanation for all the cases of segmentation. Significance of metamerism. It is not clear just how and why metamerism evolved or how the primitive ancestors were benefited by it. Probably specialization of metameres for particular function showed an advancement. It is possible that segmentation was initiated in the musculature of an elongated swimming worm. This breaking up of the body into metameres would facilitate swimming movements. Metamerism helps in locomotion in several ways. The coordination of muscular action and fluid-filled coelomic compartments cause efficient swimming and creeping, which is an advancement over the simple ciliary and creeping movement of lower invertebrates. Fluid-filled coelomic compartments also provide hydrostatic skeleton for burrowing. Movement can take place by differential turgor effected by flow of coelomic fluid from one part of the body to the other. Another advantage of segmentation or metamerism is the opportunity for different segments to specialize for different functions, thus leading to a rapid evolution of high grade of organization. It is not clearly marked in annelids but is well developed in arthropods. Metamerism has therefore contributed towards the greater complexity of animal bodies and rapid evolution of high organization in animals. Some indication of primitiveness of an animal can be determined by the degree of segmentation it displays. The fact that cestodes, annelids, arthropods, and chordates have metamerism does not necessarily indicate a close relationship among them, for the metameric conditions may have arisen independently by convergent evolution. Pseudo-metamerism. True metamerism, as shown by annelids, must not be confused with the pseudo-metamerism or strobilization of the tapeworms. It refers to superficial segmentation and could be termed body annulation. True segments of annelids are laid down in the embryonic stage, whereas proglottids of tapeworm are not true metameres, but rather complete reproductive individuals produced by strobilization, that is, a type of budding, with the buds remaining attached. The modern view now gaining favor is that cestodes are indeed metamerically segmented, although their metamerism is of a different type. Thank you.